People listened carefully, laughed softly, and seemed genuinely intrigued in what I had to say. In 5th grade, all the students had to participate in the famous fair, which is where we chose one famous person that inspired us, wrote a biography about them, and presented our speeches over and over again as friends and family walked by. It was like a living wax museum. Being the spunky child that I was, I chose Oprah. I was so proud of my research and well-formatted speech that I felt even my hard-working role model would be proud of it. And at the mere age of 11, I felt like I was Oprah. A few days before the fair, my teacher, Mr. Kissel, had everyone dress up as their research role models and present our speeches in front of the class. He also videotaped us so we could look back at our hand gestures, tone, body language, etc. I was so very confident as I marched to the front of the room in my permed hair, elegant black dress, and new wedges, courtesy of Goodwill. And after everyone had presented and been recorded, it was my turn to watch myself speak. As I watched myself speak, this person that looked like me but couldn't be, a blanket of shame covered my body. Is this what I sound like? Is this what people hear when they talk to me? Is this why they laugh or pay close attention in my speeches? Is this why Paxton told me I talk weird? Is this why Natasha put 5 E's on my Valentine's Day card? Suddenly, it all made sense. Every communication interaction was flooding back to me, and I felt like I was drowning. This was the first time in my life that I felt I was different in a negative way. I had a stutter. And as soon as I thought I knew how everyone else viewed it, the upcoming fair brought unavoidable dread. That day, as each parent walked up to me, smiled, and said, "Tell me about Oprah," I felt like I was being cornered by an enemy. I noticed every repetition, every absent word, every struggled breath, every bead of sweat that rolled down my rib to my waist in this vocal workout. The reactions to my disability were the worst part. "Mom, why is she taking so long?" "Honey, Oprah didn't have a stutter." "Don't be so nervous, just talk." But I was talking. As soon as I saw myself as they did, the world became clear. Because I thought no one valued what I had to say, I started to devalue my own voice as well. And as middle school approached, I did things and acted a certain way so nobody would know I was different. And if they found out, I would act like my stutter was no big deal. Little did I know at the time, this perception of my speech would change my life. Stutter. Talk with continued involuntary repetition of sounds, especially initial consonants. That's the definition of stuttering, but it's so much more than just a 2-syllable word and some repetitions. Stuttering is a complex system of vocal and neurological work, and everyone varies from the vocal stutter to the secondary motions. It's as if there's a timing problem in the communication of signals from the brain to the speech mechanisms, which physically causes us to stutter. This glitch results in a tightening or closure of the vocal cords. Before I explain the types of stuttering, I would like everyone to step out of your comfort zone and try to stutter. Okay. Taking a deep breath of air with your mouth open. Doing this. Think. And now hold your breath and don't let any air out at all and try to speak. This is the physical sensation we call walking. Yeah, it's right? and let out little puffs of air. Feel the sensation in your throat. This is an everyday occurrence if you're a person who stutters. In the spectrum of stuttering, there's blocking, hold, word, repetitions, part, word, repetitions, prolongations, injections, and many variations of those. Along with each unique type of stutter, usually comes a secondary motion, whether it be tilting your head back, closing your eyes, hitting your leg, biting your lip, or anything to ease the vocal tension. Now, society views stuttering as something that needs to be fixed. In order to be a successful person, we have to fit a certain criteria set up by the same society that shreds our individuality. And the media has a lot to do with this. America's Got Talent. Did anyone watch that last season? Yeah, anyone? Okay, well there was a comedian on the show, Drew Lynch, who had a severe stutter from an untreated concussion. He was hilarious, his videos went viral, and he got second in the whole competition. Yes, this is a hugely positive thing, but on the other hand, someone came up to me and said, if he can do that in front of millions of viewers, then why are you so nervous to introduce yourself to new people? Just like all people, people who stutter are not created equally. We are unique. For another example, the King's Speech, which is amazing because it's shedding light on the stuttering community. The prince, in preparing to be king, tries all sorts of these alternative exercises and methods to stop stuttering so he can speak publicly. His ideal success is to speak fluently, and he feels humiliated that he has a stutter. His sense of humiliation frustrates me. I'd love to finally see a film or a show that is about or includes a person who stutters embarking on a journey of confidence and acceptance without changing who they are. This is what it means to transcend, to reach beyond, regardless of how scary it might be. Some stereotypes about stuttering. I don't stutter because I'm cold, nervous, or faking it like Tina from Glee. Stuttering is avoidable, but not curable. I don't stutter in my head or when I'm writing, but I do stutter when I'm speaking a different language because I'm still speaking, therefore I'm still stuttering. And it's mainly genetics. Telling a person that you understand what they go through because you trip up sometimes too is sort of like telling a parent, I understand what the whole parenting thing is like because I had dolls and action figures growing up. You don't always have to connect to understand something. Honestly, the best thing to do is be patient and listen. Now, as I mentioned, society views stuttering as something that needs to be fixed. In order to be a successful person, you have to fit a certain criteria set up by the same society that shreds our individuality. I've been to multiple speech therapists, and the main focus is on giving you tools to change your speech, whether it be pause and phrase, where you take natural pauses to make the vocal cords relax, or it slides, where you sense a sound or word you're going to stutter on and slide into it. And then I had one speech pathologist in elementary school who didn't specialize in stuttering and told me to say everything in a sing-songy voice because when we sing, we don't stutter. It has to do with the fluidity of the air through the vocal cords. So when these speech pathologists gave me these tools to speak like everyone else, I focused really hard and I used them every day, but on some days I was tired or caught off guard or couldn't avoid my voice and I stuttered and I felt like I failed. They were giving me these tools to speak like everyone else and I couldn't do it. I was mentally, physically and emotionally exhausted from trying to avoid my stutter. And if you think about how much we speak in a day, or even think about speaking, my life revolved around avoiding it and feeling miserable if I didn't. I felt this way every day from that day in 5th grade to the summer of going into my freshman year of high school. So, what changed? What helped me transcend? Well, my amazing speech therapist at the time, Kristen, introduced me to this camp for young people who stutter called Camp Say, which stands for the Stuttering Association for the Young. For 15 days in North Carolina, I would be surrounded by young people who stutter. At the time, this honestly sounded horrible. Because I was trying to avoid the uniqueness of my voice, not embrace it. I didn't want to believe I had a stutter because society, the media, and my demoralizing middle school experiences taught me that I wasn't valuable because I had this glitch, this piercingly public difference. But against my will, my mother forced me to go to Camp Say, and I immediately felt surrounded by something I had never felt before: understanding. No one here finished my sentences. No one looked at me in shock if I took 2 minutes to say my name. People listened here because of what I had to say, not because of how I was saying it. It's the perfect 2 weeks. This place, my home with my unbelievable friends, restored my pre-famous fair confidence, and the Oprah in me was reborn. Camp Say smashed the wall that separated me from the rest of the world and taught me that my voice is valuable, rare, and I shouldn't let anyone's ignorance limit my self-worth. So, what can you do as someone who doesn't stutter? Simply listen. Patience is something that is valued in our society, but rarely practiced. I'll admit it, my generation has a problem with instant gratification. I mean, we all do, but mine has grown up around technology, which intensifies this demand. We don't have to wait around for letters in the mail. New and better things are being advertised to us constantly, and things just aren't as hard as they would have been 20 years ago, and we're not even appreciating it. This mentality of getting frustrated at someone for taking a long time to order at Starbucks, or a car not immediately moving on a green light, or even getting annoyed at freshmen for standing in the middle of the hallway astounds me. We want things now, and this pressure of our fast-paced world really affects the stuttering community. Just be patient, or even be mindful about being patient. Stop and listen, because for all you know, someone could say the most inspirational, insightful, and incredible few words you'll ever hear in your life, and they could take 5 minutes to say it. Thank you.